Which quarterback should be more confident heading into this one? Is it Burrow or Stafford?
Burrow. Burrow, easily. You know why? He's playing with house money. He just got into the league last year. He got injured his first year. His second year, he's in the Super Bowl. What he got to lose, Sam? What he got to lose, Ryan? Wait a minute. I'm in my second year. I'm playing for the Cincinnati Bengals, who ain't been to the Super Bowl since '88. I mean, they still fawn over Boomer Esiason and Ken Anderson and Kenny Anderson. That's what they're doing to Ken Anderson. Kenny Anderson was the basketball player from Left Rack City, Queens, New York, Lost Battalion Hall. My brother. That's a different Kenny Anderson. I'm talking about Ken Anderson, all right? That dude, okay? They were still fawning over those guys until Joe Burrow showed up. I'm in my second year, my first full season as a quarterback in the National Football League. I beat Patrick Mahomes to get here. I beat Derrick Henry to get here. I beat Raider Nation to get here. Before that, I'm in the Super Bowl in L.A., which is Sam Stafford's home field. I'm in La La for the Super Bowl. I'm playing with house money, and all the pressure's on Stafford. And this is the easiest assignment of my life. This is an easier assignment for him, Ryan, than winning a national championship at LSU. At LSU, he was going up against, Trevor Lawrence. He was going up against Dabo. He had Ryan Clark and Swagoo giving one of the greatest motivational pregame speeches I've ever seen on national television for Get Up. He had that pressure. LSU was in the house. First Take was down there. They were like, yo, you better witness. You better witness. It ain't Alabama standing in your way. What the hell's going on? Handle your business. That's what they were saying to Joe Burrow. That was pressure. He rolling into Cincinnati. He's got nothing to lose. Aaron Donald on the other side, Jalen Ramsey on the other side. Offensively, the boy wonder, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford came here and stuff. Odell Beckham Jr. with his somehow Cinderella story. Cooper Kupp, the great white hope, him sitting at the White Men Can't Jump. They said they made a movie named after. They made a movie made with that stuff. They never said White Men Can't Run because that brother Cooper Kupp can fly. He is a baller. That brother can play. So I'm looking at it and I'm going like this. What's the problem? Joe Burrow has no pressure. He is chilling hard. All of this pressure is on Matthew Stafford. Good luck. Good luck.
No, it's not even about the pressure though. It's about when you talk about confidence, Joe Burrow has to be ultimately confident. When you think about what he's been in playoff matchups in his life, right? We can go back to college. You have an opportunity, you're playing against Georgia in the SEC championship and you win. You get an opportunity to play against Oklahoma, you blow those guys out, and then obviously you win the national championship against Clemson. The same thing in these playoffs. This dude has the ultimate cool, right? He has an ability to never flinch when he's faced with adversity, and I think that's because of the way he is. I think that's because of the things that he's been through, because of his experiences. And now, if you're Joe Burrow and you're the Cincinnati Bengals, you're right, Stephen A. You're playing with house money. But it's not just the house money that you're playing with. It's the fact that you feel like you can make that money work for you. Joe Burrow has come up huge and come up clutch in every chance that he's had to on the national stage. And I think he feels that he is meant for these moments. And so Matthew Stafford is dealing with the pressure of coming from Detroit, being traded for, having to be an upgrade over Jared Goff. The Cincinnati Bengals haven't won in decades. The Cincinnati Bengals haven't been to the Super Bowl since the 80s. Joe Burrow was drafted #1 overall. Joe Burrow is from Ohio. That was pressure. And in the face of that pressure, he has not missed a beat. He's been a leader even during 2020 when he had to step up and make sure he stood in front of the team and said he stood against social injustice. He's shown us at every opportunity that he is mature beyond his years. And I think he'll show that to us again on the field next Sunday.
Yeah, RC, I hear what you're saying. Stephen A., I hear what you're saying. But the question isn't who's under more pressure. The conversation we're having is who should be more confident. And if you ask me who should be more confident, Matthew Stafford should absolutely be more confident because of all those weapons and all those pieces, Stephen A., that you pointed out beforehand. Cooper Kupp, right? Triple Crown winner. White man can't jump, but white man can run and set records. That's Cooper Kupp. I'm confident in Cooper Kupp. Odell Beckham Jr., the last 4 games, in each of those last 4 games he's played, he's had more catches consistently and more receiving yards consistently, culminated last week with over 100 receiving yards, as did Cooper Kupp. I'm confident in that. I'm confident in my defense, in Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, two of the best at their position. I'm confident in Von Miller, who's coming on as well. I'm confident in Leonard Floyd. I'm confident in all the pieces around me. And so pressure, it's a completely different conversation. Of course, Joe Cool, no pressure, second year, first-round pick, been playing lights out, beat, as he said, the second best team in the AFC twice in January. He should not feel any pressure. And I like how he said that, too. Second best. I said, okay, you said the second best. Who's the best? That means he knows he's the best, right? But the question is about confidence. Joe Burrow is always confident. We know that. But Matthew Stafford should be more confident based off of the pieces around him, number one, and based off of the defense he's playing against, number two. Statistically speaking, the pass defense of the Bengals in the bottom half of the league. I just got to throw that out there. I just got to throw that out there.
You get to me sometimes, Sam. That's ridiculous.
So Matthew Stafford should be more confident in his ability and in his team and in what he has in front of him.
You know, sometimes,
please respond.
First of all, let me tell you something right now, because I have said this before in my career. Okay, no one's dumb.
Yep.
We all have a level of intellect.
Yep.
Okay, and Sam Acho, you're one of those people, a highly intellectual individual.
Yep. As are you. As are you.
So much so that intellect sometimes just throws you all the way over the damn cliff. It doesn't make a bit of sense because Sam Acho, he should be more confident because of the weapons around him and the teams we just gonna ignore the pressure that Matthew Stafford has been subjected to. We're gonna ignore the fact that he went through a 7-week stretch where he was throwing interceptions, including pick sixes. We just gonna ignore the fact that, you know what, even though he's had game-winning drives throughout his career, there were so many moments because of the pressure in people's eyes where he came up small. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.